So this is like movie magic, because guess what? I'm on vacation right now. My guys are getting back to work on the bus. They're gonna be working on the front suspension. We got the rear suspension already knocked out before I left. It has been like 3 years since I've taken my family on a vacation, and we're taking a much needed break. So you're not gonna see any of my vacation, but you are gonna see the front suspension get put in the OnX off-road bus. Make sure you guys go check out OnX. If you don't know what that is, OnX is awesome. This is their bus. This thing is gonna be a 4-wheel drive, super capable machine.
Good morning, everyone. It's Monday morning. Yes, it is in the morning. I think it's like 8:30, so it's not like early, but probably wondering where Robbie's at. Probably wondering where Hillbilly's at. But guess what? I fired him. Just kidding, not really. Hillbilly's still camping. He went camping for Easter weekend. Robbie and the boss, they went to Disneyland. They need a little vacation. So it's me and Sean today. We're gonna be working on the bus. We gotta figure out how to put the front end all together. I believe we're gonna be sliding, lifting the bus up, sliding this under, getting some measurements. And then we're gonna take the axle off the stand and get it down to about ride height so we can see how it's all gonna work out. That's what we're gonna be doing today. We'll take you along with us. I'm new to this. Sean knows what he's doing. I don't, so I'm gonna film him and listen to what he has to say.
We're gonna change out these spring pockets for shock brackets if we can get these bolts out.
Oh,
Piece of cake.
Okay, we got those all off. They came out pretty easy. Now we're gonna see how these new ones fit in. And they just sit on just like that. As you can see the angle there. And then they just bolt down right through the center. Okay, now that we got those, we're gonna raise the bus up to the height that we, so we can get this on the axle under. And then we'll slide the axle under. And then I think we're just gonna ratchet strap it off and then lift the bus up a little more. This side on first. I hope you guys are getting a good visual of what this is gonna look like. I mean, it's gonna look so good. Okay, we got the tires on, put a few lug nuts on there, and then we're gonna strap the axle to the bus. Go up a little more, and then take the axle stand out of there. Things don't always go perfect on Monday, but it's okay. We ran into an issue. The tire is rubbing on the high steer kit right here. It's hitting. So we're gonna have to throw a spacer in between the hub and the tire. Okay, so we got the temporary spacers on this side. Sean's just tightening up the lug nuts and then we'll get the other side done. Okay, so our plan is that we got it strapped off to the bus now. I'm gonna raise the bus up and then we should be able to pull that stand out of there. And then we'll come down to the height that we want to be at. I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to get a good visual of this thing. All right, we're gonna bring the bus down. So we got the axle back on the ground. We're gonna go undo the ratchet strap so we set up. And that way, we can, if we need to, we can bring the bus back up. But the reason why we did that is just so we didn't have to try to pick the axle up by hand or go take it outside, get the skid steer and lift it off. We kind of just use the bus and the lift. Okay, we got the tires in place. We blocked them off. We just kind of eyed center and everything like that. So we blocked them off. And then I'm gonna come up with the bus just a little bit more because right now it's sitting like the nose is down. The front of the bus is sitting down. So we're gonna come up with the bus a little bit. We're gonna grab 2 jack stands, put under the front bumper, set its height, and then come off. Because right now when we go to put the front end all together, the lift arms, they're gonna be in our way. So we're gonna set the jack stands on the front bumper and then come down, and then we'll be able to move these arms out of the way so we can continue. Okay, Sean's getting the last jack stand underneath. I'm gonna come down easy. We got off the arm, that's exactly what we wanted. Everything seems stable. We'll get that arm out of the way. Now we're gonna get the arms. Sean's bringing one of the arms in. We're gonna get these 2 bolted up, and then we'll clamp that where we think it needs to go, correct?
Yep.
Okay. There we go. Got that one in. Okay. Right there. Okay, got that. We got that part sitting on the jack stand. We got a few wires. I think they're bolted to the frame. We got to undo, and then we'll clamp that side down. Okay, we got the 4-link arms on jack stands close to where they're gonna be. We gotta clean the frame off. Like I said, there's some ground wires, and then we gotta, I think, cut a few things. It looks like little studs that are bolted to the frame. I'm trying to show you with a light. But I got them undone. They come out just like that, and then we can get them out of the way. I'll zip tie them out of the way. I got one more right here, and then I'll zip tie that out of the way. Okay, we got those all put up in place. I marked around. I'm gonna lower it back down. I'm gonna clean the frame all up with a sanding disc, and then that way we can go back up and tack them in place. Sean's done the same thing over on his side. The side steps gotta go, no more. So we couldn't get the bolts out, so Sean ground them down. Got one more in there that should come off of this part of the fender. We're doing all right, you know. Hillbilly's gone, Robbie's gone. You gotta give us credit, man. Come on. Wackaroo. That's it there. Now it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4 more at the bottom. Maybe one in the back here. Just like that. Okay, so we double checked the wheel where we wanted it. Sean's getting under there. He's gonna clamp it now to the frame, and then we'll go on the other side, the driver's side, do the same thing, and then we're just gonna double check. We're gonna pull a tape from the rear end to the front, make sure that we're squaring up right. We're not tacking anything in yet with the welder. We're just gonna clamp everything. Then we'll go through, tack it, and then tomorrow Hillbilly will be burning all the welds.
I think the frame bends right there.
Oh, okay.
Once we get it where we for sure want it, then we'll have to use one of the screw ones. Crank that in.
Okay.
Go 5 1/8.
Okay, so we went off, for right now, we went off the transmission bracket. It's 5 1/8. So we're gonna go move to the driver's side, get it clamped in place, measure 5 1/8, and then we're gonna pull off the back and just double check our work.
Got it clamped where you wanted it?
I think so.
Heck yeah.
We got it all clamped in place, but just for in cases, we're gonna double check our work. So we're gonna go pull a tape off from the rear axle to the front bracket, and then we're gonna see if it's the same on both sides. So I believe in us. Sean's been amazing to work with today. If he wasn't here, oh man, I'd be in trouble.
We're in within a 1/16 of an inch.
Yep.
I'd call that a win, don't you think?
I'd call that a win.
And we're within a 1/16 of an inch. So me and Sean agreed. I think, you know, that's a win for us. Okay, so now that we got all that in place, it's time to move on to the shock towers. So we got to do some customization to the shock towers. Thankfully, Sean's here because, like I said, I love doing all this, but I'm learning. But it's exciting to me. So I'll kind of give you an example of what we're gonna do. So this is the new one that we got. And we're gonna go along right here. It's already welded, but we're gonna go along right here and cut it. Kind of follow that same weld, cut all that off, just the bottom. And then we're gonna get the old one because we know these all line up. We'll have to straighten it up a little bit from when we pulled it off. But we'll cut along here and take this bottom piece and weld it like this along here. So then when we go to set it up in place, we'll just line up these bolt holes. We might have to, you know, do a little bit of adjustment in that, but then we'll be able to go in and sit and burn our welds in, weld it all up. Oh man, me and Sean got carried away a little bit, and it's lunchtime, so it is lunch. And just like that, we're back from lunch. Now we're gonna tackle these shock tower brackets. And just like that one's cut off. We'll get the old one, cut it kind of the same. Are you gonna cut it the same angle, or
Okay.
have that little bit of that arch? So before we go welding, I'm gonna go through and clean all this up. Sean's straightening up that other piece. Once we get that all straightened up, we'll get it in place, tack it, and then burn a weld all the way through it. Okay, we got it tacked up. Sean's just gonna kind of see if it's gonna fit.
I think that'll be good.
All right, wait a minute.
I don't know if I know what I'm doing.
You know what you're doing.
Sean has some good faith in me, but he says if I screw it up, he can fix it. I'm just, you know, I'm wanting to learn, so here's a perfect opportunity for me to weld this in and see how I do. I got it all welded in. I mean, Sean says it looks decent, so I'll give it an A for effort. Went ahead and ground down on the inside where the shock tower will be mounted against the frame down here at the bottom, because I didn't want to have where I welded. It was a little bit of a bump, so I went and ground it down, if you can see, so that sits smooth along there. Okay, so I got it all welded. I ground my welds up because I welded both sides, so Sean's like, yeah, grind them up, make it look good, like it's the weld's not even there. So that's what I did. So he has it clamped in place. We're just kind of, now what we're gonna do is line up the angle to where the shocks are gonna sit at. So as you can see inside here, that's where I welded, ground them down, made it look good. But now he's looking at the angle here, from right here to the axle to the first shock tower, and then the second one comes off here. Okay, we got the passenger shock tower in. Sean's just tacking it up. Like I said, he's gonna come in tomorrow and finish burning all the welds in. Well, we're working on other stuff. So we got the passenger side in. Now we're gonna go work on the driver's side. It's not going as easy as I wanted it to. Passenger side was way easy. So I got this side cut off, the shock tower where I needed it. I got the old one cut. It's bolted in place, but we're hitting right here. So I'm gonna go cut this out, notch it, and see if I can get it up in place. If I get this shock tower where I need it, Sean was telling me just to get it up in place after I notch this and just tack it and see if we can get it up where we want it, in line with the shock mount here, and then I'll unbolt it, take it over to the table, weld it all in. But yeah, I'm kind of fighting with this side. So okay, we got that shock tower all clamped in place. As you can see, I notched out right there. It's clearing good now, enough room so we can stick a bolt through there. Now we're just gonna check the angle. If this right here is angled the same as the axle itself. The bottom needs to go to the front a little bit more. So we clamp the front of it, we're undoing the back. We're gonna just tap it forward a little bit. We don't want the top of it to move at all. Oh yeah. Just like that. Heck yeah. That fit up in there.
Yep. I think we're pretty good.
Okay, so on this driver's side, we've had to do it completely different from what we did on the passenger side, just because it's not the same on both sides. So what we got now is we got it all clamped in place. We're just gonna leave it there instead of just tacking it, pulling off, like I said, welding it all up. We're just gonna leave it all in place here. And then Sean's gonna go through and just weld it all in right now, because we don't want it to move. We got it at the perfect angle. As you can see here, it's the angle that we want it to be. And he got it clamped, so he's just cleaning up where he's gonna be welding, and then he's gonna fill in this gap here, weld that all in, and then that's gonna set us perfect for the driver's side. Okay, Sean got that tacked in place where we wanna sit it, but I mean, we let time get away from us, so it's quitting time. It is tomorrow. All right, it is the next day, and guess who we got back with us? Hi. Yep, he's back from camping. He said he had a good time. He needed the time with his family, so it turned out good for him.
Nothing beats camping.
Yeah. So it sounds like Hillbilly's gonna start welding in everything on the passenger side. He's gonna get it all welded. Me and Sean's gonna work on the driver's side, getting that all finished. I think we're getting pretty close, but he's just doing a couple different things there.
I was wondering what you guys was going to be doing while I was gone, but I see what you guys did.
We had a good day yesterday.
Bus is coming along. Pretty soon we'll be driving it down the road.
Yeah. Okay, so I came over on Sean's working area, and he's drilling these holes in these rods to mock up the suspension. And I was like, what the heck? So I look, and he has a washer on there. And I was like, what's that for? So then he explains to me that he's like, when he's drilling, if he's up too high, the washer's gonna walk the one way. If he's down, it's gonna walk the other way. But if he's sitting where he needs to be straight, the washer's gonna stay spinning right there. See, it's just those little things that make your life so much easier when you're drilling and you don't have, you know, you think, oh, I'm drilling, I can drill straight, but there's proof right there.
Okay, so I got the passenger side strut tower all welded in. I'm on the driver's side. There's a little bit more on the driver's side weld. I weld the sides, this piece here, then all these holes. Then we'll unbolt the arms off the back brackets, lift it up, and I'll get those back brackets welded. Then I think it'd be, this front suspension will be done and ready to measure for shock or struts.
Hillbilly got that all welded in. Sean's under there, he's undoing the 4-link arms. And we're gonna raise the bus up. So then Hillbilly's gonna go and the brackets for the 4-link arms, he's gonna weld those all in. And then that should be everything welded in on the suspension side of it. Okay, we got the front arms back underneath the bus. We're gonna go up a little bit. And then we're gonna readjust them. Just so we can catch that frame. Okay, Hillbilly got this all welded in. I'm just gonna go over, grind the welds up a little bit, just make it a little prettier. Looking pretty good. Hillbilly's finishing up welding the passenger side, and then he'll move over to the driver's side.
Okay, so I got this plate almost fully welded in. Then I'll come through and hit the bottom of this one, there. We don't want this going anywhere. Don't want the lift to fall out or anything, so taking extra precautions and over welding things. I know it's not really necessary, but rather have too much than not enough.
Okay, Hillbilly, he got everything welded up. He's gonna drop the bus down. We're gonna bring it back down to the axle.
Hey, I'm not gonna drop it down. That brakes stuff will lower.
Oh, my bad. He's gonna slowly, expertly lower it down. I believe Sean got the Mockup shocks. I don't even know what to call that thing. Axle holder and placers.
So we gotta make sure it hits those jacks down. That's where you guys had it.
Yep.
Because they moved a little bit when we raised it.
It's looking like they're gonna go. Oh. Okay, you're off on the front. Pull that over. Oh, actually coming out of the way.
So while Sean went to go get the solid shocks, I want to get the links pulled up into place.
Oh.
Whoa! Too far. Do we want to put the long one in this side before we lower it? Or?
Yeah, probably.
Where's it at?
They're laying on it now.
I'll go grab it. Okay, so these are the things that Sean built. Because we don't have the shocks yet, Robbie has to order them. Here you are, sir.
Shank you. Now where's the bolts? I need bolts. This side took the half to spine, top and bottom. This side's done. We'll move to the other side. More?
Yeah, just a little. Good. We're in. Won't need no nut on that one.
Heck yeah.
That ain't gonna fall out. Yeah.
Moment of truth. Let's see this.
Okay, so we gotta pull the Pitman arm off, and we're curious to see if this Pitman arm is going to fit this gearbox, because everything that was ordered was for an 08 axle. You want to get this nut broke free and pulled off, get this Pitman arm pulled off, and see if this one's going to work. Now we'll grab the Pitman arm tool. That's not moving.
Been on there a while.
Any suggestions?
We'll get a big pry bar in there.
We got a 6-footer right there.
It moved.
Did it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, because I couldn't get the pry bar all the way in there before. Now I can.
So I'm going to attempt to use a CV fork to pop this Pitman arm. Uh-oh, I'm wedged.
So.
Come on. It just pops out.
When in doubt, try everything in the shop.
Hammer or a torch.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, we are struggling. We cannot get this Pitman arm to come off. So Hillbilly came up with the idea. He's just gonna undo the 2 bolts of the gearbox, steering gearbox.
Yep.
and then we're just gonna see if it'll kind of swivel down, so then we can get the puller on there.
Pull these two and then loosen that one so it can pivot just a little bit. We don't have to pivot much, just a little bit.
Just enough room to get that puller on there.
Yeah. Because my arms are feeling like jello. They're very vibrating from the air hammer.
I like Jello. Already starting to swivel down.
We might be able to get the puller on there now.
Pulling tight. I think that's right on there. Hillbilly went to go get the wrench. We're gonna see if that's gonna want to come off. As it's just gonna pop right off.
That's the plan.
Do they fly off there?
It might be tight, but it ain't too wrench tight. The puller popped off. Oh, gotta tighten it up a little bit more. I'm gonna get it before we go to lunch.
Sounds good to me. I wasn't hungry anyways. I don't know why I'm scared, but...
So you're not planning to get popped in the mouth?
I know. I don't want to watch you get popped in the mouth either. Stored energy. Still want to do it before lunch or after?
It's not moving.
How hard would it be to remove the gearbox?
It's a mess.
Is it?
You got power steering lines, you got...
Oh, yeah.
You can't get that anyway.
It looks
Right
like...
now it's getting pulled like this.
It looks like it's a bigger gap, but...
Yeah, you know how many times we've said that?
That's not.
It's not.
I know. So your mind's telling you that it's bigger, but...
That is looser. Maybe it has moved a little bit.
Yeah, ain't moving.
No. So I was able to get the actual Pitman arm tool in place now. Tighten up like I did the pulley puller, and hopefully this one actually does something because the pulley puller wasn't doing a darn thing. How tight's tight? It's gonna be tight.
It's pretty tight.
That is very tight.
I went to go grab a tool. They're nowhere to be found. And the Pitman arm isn't off yet. So I'm assuming they said, let's go get lunch. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go get lunch. We'll come back with maybe some fresh minds, feeling better. So it is lunch. All right, just like that, we're back from lunch and it's still on there.
Imagine that.
But we're doing the thing that we didn't really want to do, is put heat to it, just because we didn't want to melt any of the sills.
And I'm not using the big torch because that'll melt it the quickest.
So we're just gonna try to add a little bit of heat. Nobody's just said to heck with it. He's taking his chances. We got to get it off from him. Oh, man. Oh my goodness.
It only took a lot of heat.
A lot of heat.
Okay, as you can see, we got the Pitman arm off.
Finally.
It about done us in, but we got it off. Well, Hillbilly did. He heated it up. The new one, see that hole right there? It's slightly bigger. We kind of figured, but we couldn't really tell. And so if it was to go over, it'd be just real sloppy. It won't work because the teeth won't bite into each other. So now we're trying to figure out what to do.
We might have to cut the old one up right where the arm goes into those teeth, cut that one and weld the new Pitman arm to the old teeth.
All right, you heard it. We're gonna have to customize this one. Don't want to touch it yet because it's still hot. But that's the plan. Okay, so Sean and Hillbilly have been working on the drag link. They cut it down to length. We just put the smaller Pitman arm back on, and you guys think it'll be able to work?
I think it'll work.
Okay. So yeah, Hillbilly's just grabbing the hardware to go from the Pitman arm to the drag link. Is that just for the mock-up?
Temporary, yeah. And
Okay.
then we'll put a tie rod in that fits in there. Into here.
Okay. They just have the heim joints in here just for mock-up, just to see. And they're gonna do is tack a little bit to see if we can turn the steering wheel all the way left, all the way right, and see if everything's clearing. Once they get that all done, they'll cut the tack weld and then put the ball joint in, right? Tie rod end. I'm learning. Tie rod end, and then that will be official.
He's slowly learning, like real slow.
Just like you. Okay, Hillbilly got those tacked in. We're gonna test the steering now, make sure nothing bumps into each other or binds up.
Oh, we're golden.
Oh, it does look good. Clears there. Okay, the other way. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we're
Full
good.
steer both ways, huh?
Yeah.
Come and say hi. You know it's a good day out there. Hello. You haven't been much help lately.
We was digging around looking for stuff to build a track bar, going through everything, trying to find something to build a track bar out of, and wouldn't you know it, a tie rod end.
Tie rod end.
So it is a little bit bigger than the tie rod end that went inside the Pitman arm, so got a reamer to ream it to the size I need. And just like that, fits like it's supposed to. So now I'll get this back installed and then put all this up and attach it. We gotta make sure the steering wheel's still straight. Can you look?
Oh, can't really tell. Okay, now we're working on the track bar. They're gonna run it right down the top of the center of the axle. So Hillbilly has the bar slid in there. He's finding a bracket to see about where they can weld up something right here. That'll run along, and then we gotta figure out where we wanna bend it. Cause it's gonna bend and then run up to right here. Sean's building something so it can run up and tie into about right here.
Okay, I'm working on the track bar, panhand bar, whatever you guys want to call it. And Sean's working on the driver's side. So on the passenger side, this is what I got figured out. Put that right there. Weld those on. And they won't be going anywhere. They'll be golden.
We'll still be able to put our bump stop up here.
And it'll bump out on this.
There's really no other way to run that track bar, huh?
No. But we'll just tack it all in place until Robbie gets here.
Okay, Sean's been working on the mount for the track bar to bolt into on the driver's side. I think it'll work out good.
And the thing about it is if we decide we want to go in this upper hole,
Yeah,
we can trim off
exactly.
the other. So
We have 3 holes to choose from after we get it all in. Because you're still put that bend in, huh?
right. We'll do
So
the
yeah,
bend.
you'll probably be able to do that.
We
third
bend it
hole.
here and it'll go to here. It leaves room for this.
And then
to
you
come
go,
up.
and then you could not take another inch and
I
a
could
half
take the
off.
lower hole off
Yeah,
and still have a second hole you could
exactly.
go in, right, Hillbilly?
That'd be probably the best thing.
And we'd still have one hole we could come down if we wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting it all figured out.
Then you just gotta tack it in.
Yeah, just tack it in until Robbie sees it to see if he says good go or no, we got to do this or this. You think if I ground it to my hand and then touch the metal
No, put it on your earring.
and then touch metal, do you think it'd ground through it?
Oh yeah.
You braille welding?
Braille welding? It's called quick tack.
We're actually gonna have to bend it way back there.
Bend it like right in the center.
No, I don't know. If you,
I wouldn't go that
I'd
far.
come over.
Yeah.
Right here?
about
At least
there.
past
past that cross member
the bend on the cross member.
up in there.
That's right before the bend. So if we do where it's at, then it'll clear all that.
Are you ready to push the pedal? Hillbilly?
So do I go to a 90?
No. No, you just wanna just a barely kick.
Do we need to go a little more for spring back?
Yeah. We can always do it more.
That's pretty good.
I think we're just about right.
Yeah,
Huh?
because it's angled up
We
already.
could trim
and
a
then-
little off of there and move this that way a hair. You know, to get it more
Yeah.
away from here. We
What
took
I
like
was-
an inch off that end.
Yeah, you just cut the other
Yeah.
side.
Cut your end off and then
That'll be pretty good. And so we don't need to bend it more then?
I don't think so. Trim it off, and then I think we're good on bend. We'll just shorten this end to move the bend that way. Perfect. Huh?
Ah!
That looks pretty good, huh?
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, this moves with the front end quite a bit.
And if they move together,
Right.
so it's just gonna pivot.
Yeah.
Smoking. Right there's bumped up on both sides.
Okay. So then we need like a 1/4 inch up the other end.
Right?
Maybe we should go half.
Looks like it.
Half and adjust it out.
We can adjust that out a 1/4 just in case the front end's this way. And then we gotta.
Yeah, you can adjust.
Too short now?
So what you could do is grind
This
back
one side
side of the-
in a little bit more.
because the front of it, it's you got like a 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch.
Gap. Okay.
Now we can pull it out, pull the bushing out. When we fully weld it, pull the bushing out and
Yep. Yeah.
That looks good. Okay, they got the track bar all welded in. We're just tacking it for right now. So then when Robbie shows up, he can give his eye on it and see what he thinks. But I think, honestly, it's the best we could do with what we were working with.
And to be honest, it's going to match the track bar on his Jeep frame. It's set up the exact same way we just done it.
You guys did awesome. Okay, I think we got everything in, or as far as we can go without, because we don't have the shocks. We just tack welded what we could. But honestly, I think these guys did an awesome job. Hillbilly missed out yesterday.
Sean did an awesome job.
No.
Thanks, Sean.
We all did.
You made me and Hillbilly look good.
Yeah.
No, but this was awesome.
So I just got back, and the guy's absolutely been crushing the bus project. Got the whole front axle in, it's just tacked. Hillbilly's gonna get it fully welded, but Sean helped get it all put in correctly while I was gone. It was super, super nice. But now, I'm back. I gotta measure some drive shafts. So, the front drive shaft, we measured while it was at full droop and while it was all the way tapped out. But right now we have it solid with some bars. So we're just gonna be showing you guys the measurement at ride height in the front. But the rear, you can see it's at full droop. So that means it's all the way down. We're gonna measure from flange to flange. And then we're calling Tom Woods drive shafts. And we're getting us a drive shaft. Custom built. So,
And that's not even a horrible angle either.
no.
It's about what my truck runs.
Prior to this, the bus had a carrier bearing. But now we don't need no carrier bearing. So that is 69 1/4. So 69 1/4 of an inch from flat flange to center. Full droop. So this is 4 1/16. They call this a 1410 yoke. So we bought this from Yukon Gear and Axles. It's got a bigger U-joint. So we want to do that. We're gonna have flat flange on the front. They're gonna put a slipper yoke in it, but it's gonna bolt them back here. So the front yoke is just a factory Ford yoke. This came out of a 2002 Ford F350. So we'll just tell them that, and they'll know which one it is. So that one is 44 1/16. And this one's at ride height. And then this one is another 1410. So now we're gonna let the bus down and we're gonna get our ride height on the rear drive shaft. And that's gonna let us know how much slip it's gonna need. Check this out. Look at how good that front end looks. Hillbilly got the shifter in. Oh, we're gonna need to move this over, Hillbilly.
The lines?
Yep.
Yeah, I planned on
Yep, just undo that
Yep.
and move it over 1/2 an inch. But yeah, we've got this shifter kit, so once we bring it down, we'll show you. We got the 4-wheel drive shifter in, we got the transfer case in. This thing is ready to rock and roll. Once we get our drive shafts and our struts, we just gotta do brake lines. So now we're gonna let the bus down. We're gonna get it off of the arms. That's gonna put the rear at ride height. We've got the front locked in at ride height. Now what we're gonna do, you see we've got these bars that Sean put in. So those are acting as shocks and struts. So we've got a 2.5 Fox that's gone here, and we have a Fox coil over here. So we're gonna measure these out, and then we'll get those ordered up from Fox Shocks.
Okay, here's the 4-wheel drive shifter. Looks nice, real nice. So I had to cut and notch the step out because it used to come straight over out here and down. right where the shifter needed to sit. And so instead of taking this all out and figuring out how to take it out, I just grabbed the grinder, measured out where I needed to cut it, and cut that little notch out. And then I cut the aluminum trim, cut it, and then put it back on so it looks like it was supposed to be there. But it looks real good.
So here's where we're at. We're getting this job done, but this is gonna be put on hold because we gotta get drive shafts and we gotta get shocks and coilovers. So as soon as those get here, we're getting back to work on this. All right, so lots got done. Got a lot more to do. So as always, we appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video, go check out this one. It was stuck. Keep going.